G'day, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma and today I'm filming from inside our caravan for the first time. I thought I'd do a video on how we live in a caravan with two kids. So we have a 3-year-old, well nearly 3-year-old girl Penelope and a nearly 15-month-old boy Levi, and about 8 months ago we decided to leave New Zealand to travel around Australia in a Roma caravan. Our caravan is about 27 foot, I believe. We get asked all the time, just by friends and family, when we tell them what they're doing, they're like, whoa, how do you actually do that? I could never do that. To be honest, at times, early on when we started, I was like, what the F are we doing? This is just bonkers. And these are in the times when normally I'm tired, the kids are tired, there's always normally a reason. They're hungry, they've missed their nap, something's happened, and it's just like, oh my gosh. So this video is about how we live in a caravan with kids and what we've learned over the last 8 months. Sorry if I need to jump in and out of the video to attend to my kids who I'm looking after, while my husband, that you might be able to see out the window, is fixing the radiator in our car. So here we go. Number one, and what we have learned, is make sure that your kids have naps. We've learnt that when our kids don't have naps, it is just literally freaking bonkers by the end of the night. Dinner is a write-off, kids are screaming, grizzling, and we're like, well, what's going on? Like, why can't we just have a quiet dinner? And then we realise that the kids haven't had a good nap. If you can, try and get them to nap when you're driving. That's one easy way. If you're planning to travel to a new spot, a good time to do it is when it's their nap time, so they can have a sleep and you can have a nice quiet drive. But what we've also found, that for our little kids, especially our really little one, our 15-month-old, napping in the car isn't always the best, because he normally doesn't get a really long nap and a really good nap. So as time has gone on, we've tried to actually travel after he's had his midday nap. So he's a good like 2-hour one midday in this porta cot here, and then we take off, or we travel in the morning before his nap, and that way he has a really good sleep and he's really happy for the rest of the day. Our daughter, she's always been quite a good sleeper, so she'll have a good nap anywhere. So she won't nap in the caravan because she doesn't have a bedroom, and let me tell you, trying to tell a child to go to sleep in a caravan on their top bunk in the middle of the day is just like a write-off. We have learnt that just doesn't work. So she naps really well in the car wherever we are. The minute we jump in the car, she's asleep. Whatever you do, try and keep to a nap schedule. It just makes the whole day way easier. We thought, like, in the beginning, oh, if they miss their naps, that's fine. We want to get on and do our things. We don't want to be stuck in a caravan, kids napping. You know, we want to get out and do stuff, but we've realised that actually it's a flipping nightmare if they don't have their naps, and you actually don't end up having the best of time when you're out. So that's my first thing, make sure the kids sleep. So my second piece of advice is to get a white noise machine. We used a white noise machine when we were in a house at home. It's been brilliant for the kids and they're sleeping, and we have found it so perfect in a caravan because it blocks out all the noise. We've had all sorts of things going on outside, people zooming past in cars, parties, people talking, yelling, everything, and they sleep through it. So even if you don't have kids, I would recommend getting a white noise machine because it just blocks out all the noise. Also, for example, when we search for free camps on Wiki Camps, hello Levi, we have lots of people saying, oh, it's too loud, you're by a main road, you can't sleep, don't sleep there. Well, when we go there, we just crank the white noise to max and we sleep through it perfectly. So white noise machine is amazing when you're in a caravan. And the second thing is getting some dark curtains. So you'll notice that our curtains are quite light, which is fine for us, but when you're trying to get the kids to sleep at 6:30 and it's bright outside, which it sometimes is in Australia, sometimes it's really light and sometimes it isn't. It's really hard, so sometimes I hang up some curtains just across the windows, just temporarily, because I don't want to have to buy brand new curtains at the moment. And like, yes, and like in the morning, sometimes it can be light at 4:30 in the morning, so having these curtains up, it blocks the light out straight away, which is awesome. Do you want to say hello to the camera, Penelope? Say hello to the camera. Hello! So number 3, establish a bedtime routine really fast, so they just get used to it. So our bedtime routine is the kids are asleep by 6:37. Sometimes it's later if it's just we've got things going on, or it's like extremely light, or if there's kids around and they're playing outside, because that's awesome. So we got into a pattern of 6 o'clock, we have a shower, kids are in bed, white noise machine on, and honestly it just makes travelling so much easier, because as adults you need downtime as well. So setting a bedtime routine is awesome, and especially because the kids are up really early as well, they need their sleep. So we have found right from the beginning that we just continued with our normal bedtime routine that we had at home. It is no different than being in a caravan. And what makes it really good is in our Roma caravan is we have the kids out in the kitchen in 2 bunks, and then we have a door. So I'll insert a picture, and then we have our bedroom. And I tell you, if you've got kids in a caravan, find a caravan that has a door where you can split them off. There are a lot of caravans where the adult's bed is in the kitchen and the kids are down the end by the bathroom. So our caravan's quite unique in that it's the other way around, and we find it really awesome because then we can actually shut the door off and have a shower after the kids go to bed, and they don't even know. Yeah, we have to like pop out, we sneak out to the kitchen after they're asleep to get food or a drink or something, but you know, we're not having to sneak up in the night to go toilet or anything because the toilet's there. So we love our caravan because of that reason. So number 4 is be flexible with your sleeping arrangements. So we started off in a caravan when our son was quite young, and since being in here 8 months it's actually changed. We've swapped our sleeping arrangements 3 times. So we have bunks, and I'll insert a picture. So at the beginning we had him on the top because he wasn't moving, he wasn't really rolling, he was in a sleep sack and this sort of big pillow thing, so he was fine. And then as he started moving, we decided we needed to move him down to the bottom bunk, and our daughter went up the top because she's older, she won't fall off, there's a bar thing, and that was great. We actually put up a side bunk thing that you can get like at Target or Big W, and it was awesome. He slept in there, he loved it. But then he started moving and literally like became an escape artist. So since we've come back to the caravan after going to visit in New Zealand, we brought our trusty porta cot back with us. So now our daughter is in the top bunk and he's in the porta cot in the middle of the lounge kitchen. And that's amazing because he's moving around so much. He would have escaped out of that bunk, he would have climbed out. He was actually getting a bit hot down there because we had a wall, and it just wasn't really working, so we decided, look, we need to have a porta cot. And it actually fits really well because we can take down our table in our kitchen. So I'll insert a picture of that as well, just to show you like 3 different ways you can change up your caravan for little kids if that's what you've got. Also, at the beginning I went to Spotlight and I got these cheap bits of material, and I actually hung them up on each of the bunks, so each of them had like a little curtain that they could like open and shut, especially good for our daughter so that she wouldn't like annoy him when he goes to sleep, because he can actually see her from his porta cot. So we have this curtain that we put up so he can't see her, so that he can go to sleep and she can have like a little room that she makes with her toys and she can look out the window. So look, those curtains cost like $10. I got really cheap material. I didn't even like, you know, sew the curtains. I literally got an old curtain and cut it up with some hooks, which I'll show you in a picture, and hooked it up, and it's really awesomely. So yeah, be really flexible with your sleeping arrangements. Oh, and also having a porta cot means I can move the porta cot straight into our bedroom in the midday for a sleep, and it means he's in the same bed, because before we actually had to kind of like put him on our bed to sleep, and then when he started moving he started rolling, so that wasn't going to work. And I think it was becoming disturbing because each time he had a sleep, like at night he was in a different bed, and then in the day he was in a different bed. So this has been awesome. His sleeping has so improved amazingly. So be flexible with your sleeping arrangements. Number 5 is to stay in free camps that are suitable for kids. So there are so many free camps over Australia. It's so awesome that Australia and different parts of Australia have these free camps, but we found that it is even better if we can find a free camp that is really good for the kids. So having a playground. Like when there is a playground, it is just absolutely awesome. Practically when we get to the camp, we set up and the kids have somewhere to play. So if you've got a choice between a few free camps in a city, choose one with a playground, because straight away it's like entertainment. We've also found that parking up to, next to caravans that have dogs is not that great, because we love dogs, the kids love dogs, but you want your kids to be able to walk around freely and stuff, and when there's a dog there, you just don't know how they're going to react when the kids go over. They may be the friendliest dog ever, and they could be tied up, which most people do, but you just don't know, and you spend half the time having to tell your kids off. If you can park your caravan up not next to a dog, it just makes life way easier. Another thing we found is when we're looking for a spot, when we turn up at a free camp and like there's a big field, we normally move away from the road so that our kids can roam freely without walking onto a road, because once again you spend all your time telling your kids off. So when you get to a caravan park, choose one with a playground, don't park next to the road, and don't park next to a dog. And number 6 is to save water where possible. So in our Roma caravan we have 2 95 litre tanks of water, and when we shower, me and the kids share our water. So what I do is I get in the shower, I put the plug in and I have my shower, which to be honest we probably use only 20 litres because we catch our water when we're free camping, so we know how much water is being used. Then the kids get in and they use it as a bath. The water's not dirty, it's just soap. So they have their bath, they get out, and then for 3 of us we have used like 30 litres of water. So it is the easiest way to have a shower. If you're looking at a caravan and you've got kids, try and find one that has a shower that has kind of like a bath. We don't have a bath, but the way our shower is, which I'll insert a picture, it actually creates a little bath, so it is absolutely perfect then, all 4 of us separately having showers. My next piece of advice is to wear less clothes. So you'll see in most of my videos, my son in particular is wearing nappies and my daughter wears her underwear. So I do this because it is really hard to wash when you're travelling. Yeah, we go to laundrettes, but they're quite costly, and it's just easier to have way less washing. So the way I do that is, most of the time when the kids eat, I'll put a bib on them, but they just still get dirty. So I actually just take their tops off, and then in the end they end up wearing no clothes except underwear or nappies. And it has cut down the washing so much. At the beginning we were just wearing our clothes freely like we did at home, and I can't believe how much washing we had. No wonder I was constantly washing at home. Now I do it once a week, and we may have 2 loads, and that includes towels. So obviously it's different for adults, you know, got to change your underwear every day. And yeah, like I could wear this 2 days in a row because it's not going to get dirty, especially when it's not hot and you're not sweating. So we have cut our clothes down dramatically. And also a really good tip is to wear togs a lot. Like I have 7 pairs of togs, so I have 1 for each day, and when it's hot I wear a different one each day, and they're really easy to wash and they're really easy to dry. So wear less clothes, and be particular about the clothes you pick. Quick dry and cotton clothes are way easier than like heavy kind of material. Number 8 is to be really strategic about where you put your food and stuff and appliances and cutlery in your kitchens. Obviously we're in a caravan, the kids can get into literally everything. Yeah, some of our drawers have little locky things, but they can get into everything, and we haven't really gone around and like baby proofed it because it's not that easy. The drawers are different to what you'd have at home. So we're just really smart about where we put our stuff. So anything that we don't mind getting the kids into, say the fruit, the pots and pans, crappy plastic stuff, we put that all at the bottom. Food we put at the top, or else they would be getting through and just helping themselves to everything. Our fridge, our 3-year-old daughter now knows how to open it, and I found her eating chocolate this morning, so I'm going to have to think about what I put in the fridge now. Hiding my chocolate. That's the only thing. Oven, you probably could stick a little safety thing on it. So, oh, there's my son. They're getting into the kitchen, but that's alright because they're just getting into the cutlery drawer. So just be really strategic about where you put your stuff in your caravan so that you're not spending the whole time telling your kids off. So my next piece of advice, and this is number 9, is to have less toys. So we are travelling full time, so we probably have more stuff than the normal family that might be just going away on holiday for a few weeks. And we have found probably the best toys to have, and I'm just going to read them off my phone to remember. Scooter, absolutely awesome. They can grab it, they can both play on the scooter outside wherever we are. There's normally grass or concrete, so scooter's awesome. Bike is awesome. A ball, you can always kick a ball around. Spade and bucket, there's normally always dirt outside, so they just get in there, they dig something. Cars and trucks are awesome as well, good for playing in dirt. And another thing that we found has been really good is we went to like Big W and got like a $10 kids pool. It's not like a blow up pool, it's just ones where you put water and the sides come up, and it just means we can fill it up when we're in places that have water, and we don't have to like deflate it. We can just wrap it up and stick it in our little trunk. So those are probably the top things that we have found the best. Also books are great, you know, sometimes it does rain when you're in a caravan and you need inside stuff, so books, colouring in, and blocks is always good. Those are probably the best things to bring when you're away. And we've actually converted our bottom bunk into a toy area now that we have our son and a porta cot, so that's even better because I really don't know where we would put all our stuff when he gets back in the bunk. We'll have to do a bit of a clean out when that time comes, but for now those are probably the best things to take away. So you don't need to bring anything, you're traveling, you know, the environment, wherever you are, like the world's your oyster. They don't need anything, but they're kids, they do get bored. We have found those the best things to have when you're traveling. Number 10 for me is to have easy food for the kids. So when you are in a caravan and you are free camping most of the time, it's really hard to be using your mini oven or oven to cook amazing food. So when we are on a powered site, I take the opportunity to cook amazing food like banana loaves and carrot loaves and really, really yummy, nutritious food for the kids. And when we are free camping, I have a range of snacks and food that I have found the easiest to have with kids, because when kids don't have food, they're grizzling, as you might be able to hear in the background, and I've just given them some food. So I'm just going to insert a video of the types of stuff that we feed our kids in the caravan, because I thought you might be interested. So stuff like rolled oats are awesome for breakfast and toast. We have what my daughter calls banana bars, which are like oaty rolled oat bars. We have crackers, sultanas. What else do we have? Dates. I love dates and nuts. They love like the mini wraps, tortillas that you can put like avocado, peanut butter and spreads in. And then in my fridge, cheese is a great snack, olives is a great snack, yogurt of course. I make really easy things like corn fritters and like healthy blueberry pie clips. Anything on the oven is awesome, you know, eggs and stuff like that. You're not using your power. So those are my top ideas for snacks while you're traveling. Number 11, and I actually thought we'd never have one, is a mini vacuum. So when we moved in, we just had a broom, which we still have a broom, and that's great, but sometimes it just gets really dirty in the corners, like sand. We're always at the beach and there's always sand in the caravan and you just can't get into the corners. So when we'd been traveling, I'd seen a few people with vacuums and I'm like, is it really necessary? Like, do we really need a vacuum? But since we've got one, it's been awesome. We went to Bunnings and got a rechargeable one, so whenever we've got like high batteries, like in the day when there's sun, I'll stick it on charge and then I can always vacuum at night, and it's so good to get into the corners and get the sand out, because I just started to feel like a little bit dirty. Like, sometimes you can't clean very well with a broom, and it's been awesome to give the caravan a really good clean. I'll insert a picture of the one we've got. It's absolutely brilliant. I don't know how many times I've had to empty it. Not that much, it catches a lot. We don't normally suck up food, but you know, like a little bit of food, nothing too chunky. It's got a few different attachments. The kids love it, they chip in, they want to help. So even if you're not traveling full time, it's actually really handy to just have a little vacuum. It's also good for the car as well, because obviously the kids are always snacking in the car as well when we're traveling. So get yourself a mini vacuum if you can. Number 12, sorry, I didn't realise I had so many ideas. Number 12 is to reuse cutlery as much as possible. So we normally do the dishes once a day, which sounds a bit disgusting, but we don't want to use all our water, so we try and reuse our plates. We've got 4 plates, 4 bowls, 4 jars, 4 mugs, and like same with the cutlery, and we try and use them as much as possible. Normally after we eat, I'll just wipe them down with a wet wipe. We go through 10 million wet wipes. It's way easier than filling up with water all the time. I also have heaps of paper towels, so we use them, and it just saves on having like dishes piling up. You can give them a quick clean and put them back in the cupboard, and it saves on water. And you don't want to be spending, if you're traveling, you don't want to be spending all your time in a hot caravan in the kitchen washing dishes. So we only do it once a day, and it's so easy. Number 13, and most important, that we have found has been a game changer, is you've got to make time for yourself, for you and your husband and yourself, because you're in a really small caravan. There is nowhere to hide except the shower, which, yeah, I share the shower with my kids. There's a toilet, it's pretty small. The kids walk in there as well when you're on the toilet. There is literally nowhere to go. We have a kitchen and we have a lounge. If you close your door to your bedroom, they can come in as well. You can't be locked away anyway. So, for example, for me, every second day I get up in the morning like 6:30 and do a workout. That's my time by myself, where I get to just do something for myself, away from my kids and my husband, which sounds awful, but you need your time. My husband might go out for a run, walk, he does qigong. On days where we're not traveling or anything, we try and give each other maybe half an hour to do something, even if it's not a workout, or it's not a day that I work out. I'll just go for a walk, I'll go and read, I'll just go and breathe away from the caravan. I've just found that so important, because you don't want to wait all day to wait for a break. You will be biting each other's head off. We've realised that when we start getting snappy at each other or snappy at the kids, we're like, oh my gosh, we haven't had any time to ourselves. So also, if you can, is have a date night in a caravan. So obviously we're in a caravan by ourselves, we have no family over here, we don't have babysitters. You need to make time as a couple for yourself, and the only way is in a caravan, and that's why we love our caravan, because we can lock our door. So after the kids go to sleep, there's no harm in watching a movie together. There are times when you just get to the end of the day and you just want to both watch your own separate rubbish on Netflix, but it's really important to maybe watch a movie together. Sometimes we're in cities, someone could go pick up takeaway and you could bring it back. We couldn't really cook a meal after the kids go to sleep because they sleep in the kitchen, so takeaway. Yeah, those are probably our go-to things for date nights. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and a bit of an insight into what it's like living with the kids in a caravan. Look, it is absolutely amazing living with them. The times where we are grumpy and the kids are grizzling, the good times outweigh the bad times, honestly. I will put a list of the top 13 things that I think are most important when you are living with children in a caravan, and this is for people holidaying as well, so the top 13 things. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.